the government seems to forget that a 66-year-old Australian grandmother, Galit Carbone, was murdered inside her home on October 7. Her brother, Danny Masner, was just a few homes away that day, and he told me what happened to his sister when I visited Israel a year ago. So, Danny, your sister Galit was here in her home on the morning of October 7 when Hamas came inside her house. What happened?
From what I know, she rang me at 12:09, 12 p.m. and telling me that she hears them inside the house and she's not sure if she locked the door or didn't lock the door, as if it really matters. And I told her, okay, let's whisper. Let's not them hear that, let them know that someone's there.
She was in her safe room.
She was in a safety room, of course. She was holding the handle, and you know, it's either who's going to bend first, you know.
She didn't stand a chance.
Nah, not one chance. My father was overseas. He's a 91-year-old. He was a 90 at the time-year-old Holocaust survivor from France, and I had to tell him that his daughter was murdered on the kibbutz by yeah, it was certainly and definitely the hardest thing I had to do in my life.
Well, Danny is in Australia for this anniversary and he joins me now. Danny, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Now, you know, we just heard how the terrorists murdered your sister. You were just a few houses away. How does that day still haunt you?
Well, I can't say that I don't think about it. I can't say that I'm healing and moving forward. It's something that will stick every day, every morning I wake up. It's there. 102 members of our community were murdered at the same morning. We still have 4 dead bodies in captivity in Gaza now, and hopefully they'll be returned as soon as possible with the Trump agreement.
People forget that babies, children were murdered in cold blood on October 7, that Hamas spared no one. I mean, the brutality of that, the world just seems to have forgotten.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'll talk about the Western countries, I think. I'm directing really my call for them. It happened in Israel, and it can happen in any Western country and capital in Europe. And I think the leaders in their country must realize that it's not only the State of Israel problem, it's a world problem, and need to take Hamas more seriously and try to let the guns down.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some of the terror threats in Australia, firebombing of synagogues and preschools, and yet there's been this lack of action from the Albanese government. And in fact, you know, they're continually criticising Israel, recognised a Palestinian state, blocked entry to our country to innocent Israelis. This in the past 2 years. What's your reaction to their response?
Yes. I think that something really basically has lost between Israel and Australia. Once upon a time, you could call Israel an ally, or Australia an ally. And there was a very big Jewish community here, strong Jewish community here. And for some reason, I'm afraid that the good relationship between the Jewish community here in Australia and the government is going to fall apart in some ways.
Has already.
Has already, yeah. And really, I think what Albanese's government needs to do now is really try and get in somehow, no matter how, the Hamas down, really, because that's really the main object of the Middle East and the whole world, I think. Once the Hamas is without his weapon...
Is eliminated.
Absolutely. I think that's the necessity. And I think not only Mr. Albanese, but I think all the leaders of the world, of the Western world, should unite for the same purpose. I can't see it any other way, Sharon.
Does their approach feel like a betrayal to your sister's memory?
You know, it's been 2 years since, and things happen in 2 years. It was betrayal at the time. I'm trying to really negotiate with myself and the world hopefully to find a better place, and hopefully, again, without the Hamas, we could create a different Middle East and a different world. I'm really optimistic, even these days, 2 years after.
Well, it's good to hear you're optimistic. So you're going to be meeting with Albanese in Canberra this week.
Yes, I am.
Now, I was with you at drinks last night, and there were a few members of the Jewish community, and everyone was telling you what you've got to tell the Prime Minister. Have you worked out what the most important message is for him to hear from you, the brother of the only Australian who was killed on October 7?
Yes, I've got a lot of respect to Mr. Albanese, and my phone is flooded with advisors from very smart, clever, caring, loving people around Sydney that, and it's really just, again, I'm going to repeat myself, but trying to get Mr. Albanese to realise Israel isn't the bad guys here. Israel were attacked, and I think that what everyone and Mr. Albanese should realise that we need to eliminate Hamas again. I'm always going through that, but that's the main object everywhere, Hamas, Hamas, Hamas.
Because he keeps saying, and he's been saying this for a long time now, probably a year and a half or more, he's been demanding a ceasefire of Israel, demanding Israel withdraw, even though Hamas is still in power and Hamas still has the hostages.
Yes, exactly. Now, I'm not really following what's happening there, but I think at the moment it's up to Hamas, and Hamas aren't really accepting all the terms.
What a surprise.
What a surprise, yeah. Not the first and not the last. But seriously, I think then let's get Mr. Trump involved as well. Hopefully he will be able to do the job.
Now, you've turned your pain into action. You've given about 150 tours of Kibbutz Be'eri, where your sister was killed. You know, many people from around the world, you've told them the story, you're living this day in, day out, but the Foreign Minister, Penny Wong, she wouldn't visit.
Unfortunately, no. She came to Israel, I think, don't quote me, I think April 24, and I was already with my phone near my ear for the phone call from Ms. Wong. Hopefully she will make her way down from Jerusalem to the kibbutz to see where the sole Australian citizen was murdered that day. Unfortunately, I'm still waiting for that phone call.
She never came, she never saw?
Nothing.
So
she was too busy.
Makes you angry?
Let's leave the anger aside. Let's not be angry. Let's, yeah.
Well, Danny, I'm so thrilled you're here in Australia sharing your story, that you've come on our television show first despite your many requests.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Shara. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for being here.